Today on the show, texting teens don't tweet, a portable power pack for your iPad or iPhone, and the big threat to Chinese workers? Robots. I'm James Papadopoulos, and you're watching TechSpank. The folks over at Business Insider decided to do a study of how and what teens do online. They call it The Secret Lives of Teenagers Online, and they try to make it sound really hard-hitting. I'm sure some local news will talk about this and say something like, what some teens are doing online that might shock you, after the break. Now, most of the report has slides that are obvious. Almost all of them own a cell phone or some other internet-connected device. Shocking, right? They also text way more than any other age group. According to their chart, though, people in my age group only send 928 texts a month on average. No. I was well over 4,000 last month. I will always be forever young. Anyway, I love the next part. Only 11% of teens use Twitter every day. And of teens with Twitter accounts, 72% never use their account. I love that, because I hate Twitter. Maybe I'm more like a teen than I thought. Anyway, this isn't the interesting part. That comes later in the report, where they mention that a third of teens go to porn sites and only 12% of their parents know about it. And, get this, over half the teens surveyed said they clear their browser cache after going online. And almost half, this is hilarious, almost half of them minimize their browser windows when they hear their parents coming down the hall. It's kind of funny. 20 years ago, before the internet was everywhere, teens would hide porn under the mattress, not minimize a browser window. And they would send paper notes in class, not texts. And they would spend hours and hours on the phone instead of on Facebook. The whole time they'd be talking crap about their friends and gossiping. I guess kids haven't changed that much after all. Oh, I thought we were doing a freeze frame ending. There's more. Okay, well, next up, if you've been using that iPhone or iPad all day to send text messages and check Facebook, that battery probably runs out pretty quick. And what if you're a business traveler or stuck at the airport or on a plane or train and can't plug in a charger? Well, that's when the HyperJuice Plug comes in handy. This is the most Apple-esque charger I've ever seen. It looks like something Apple would have made, but didn't. It even has the blinking charging lights to let you know how much power there is on it. You can use the built-in plug to charge it up, and then you just plug any USB-powered device into it. It can charge or power an iPad for 9 or 15 hours depending on the model, and I'd love to tell you how long it could power your iPhone, but I plugged it in and it never ran out of juice. Over a whole day of leaving my phone on, it just never ran out. I'm guessing, just guessing, that you could get around 2 or 3 days of constant iPhone usage out of this thing. And if you're going camping or something, one of these bad boys should have you all set. Now, the build quality is excellent. Like I said, the HyperJuice kind of feels like something Apple would make. My only problem is that you can't snap off the part that plugs into the wall to use it in international outlets. And the price is a little steep, $129 or $159 for the higher capacity model. I think it's worth the cost for the good build quality, and the ability to watch porn in the forest is priceless. Really? Come on. I want the freeze frame ending. Okay, finally, in recent years, one of the big financial stories has been how American companies are moving their factories to China because of the cheap labor costs. One of the biggest Chinese electronics manufacturing giants is Foxconn. They make stuff for Apple, Nintendo, Sony, Samsung, pretty much everyone. In return, they employ a lot of people, like over 1 million people are on the payroll. But it seems like the Chinese workers might start to feel the sting of being outsourced just like the American workers have. Only instead of cheaper people, they're being traded out for robots. Each robot Foxconn plans to use can replace up to 4 workers, and in China, where their economy is starting to slow down, this isn't making many people happy. That's why details of Foxconn's plans are still kind of murky. Using robots to replace cheap labor isn't something the Chinese like. In fact, one of the engineers for the China Railway Tunnel Group says they sometimes don't use heavy equipment even when they have it ready to go. He says if all the new tunnels were built with the advanced equipment, that would trim the need for the employment of about 6 million migrant workers. If only Americans would think that way, we wouldn't have shipped our jobs over to China in the first place. Oh well, even before these robots start to put together electronics, the first thing they'll be screwing is the Chinese workers. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Thursday.
TechSpank was filmed live in front of a green screen.